All right, everybody, we are back with more TNT Championship Season 2 2024 Open Division matches. Chesire Saxophone versus Frodo. Mr. EvilMurlock, are you ready to hop into game number 1 here?
Yeah, I sure am.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, in the top, we've got Frodo. And in bottom, Chesire Saxophone, rocking the bats. What do you think of the bats?
Pros, you mean?
Crows, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're a good unit. They are just a bad tier one in my opinion. At least when they are not masked. I've never masked them myself, but apparently they are pretty much like a tier three when they are masked. So I don't know.
Yeah, I have seen the crows masked, and it is pretty hardcore. But I think that like masked raccoons kind of beats it from what I've seen. But if you're not expecting it, it can be really good, especially against people that are running a lot of you know your traditional AOE, right? I think that's what makes them so scary. Is that by the way, we got a 6 farm Warren here from Chesire. But you think about, oh, Mass Tier 1, I'm going to use Skunks, I'm going to use Boar, I'm going to use Toads. Well, none of that works against the Crows.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that the Crows could be a smart meta pick if you know you're going up against somebody who really likes their chameleons, who really likes their skunks, that kind of stuff.
I mean, they can definitely work in those scenarios. Frodo does have the Badger though, and the Badger kind of hard counters
Yeah,
the Crow.
yeah.
So that's good for Frodo, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder, I mean, to our point of like, the Crow is like this weird tier 1 that's like a late game unit. I wonder if it's just one of those things where you can take it as like your flex slot, and most games you probably don't end up building it. Chesire's really trying to put on some pressure here. I feel like Frodo is okay. Yeah, gonna target down a squirrel. Trading squirrels evenly here. And backing off. Not too bad. This is a weird map. I mean, what's nice for Frodo is that he's got a pocket expansion, so there's really his natural will never be under attack, but his main base will though, right? And it's kind of weird. I don't know. The more I'm looking at it, what do you think? If you're Frodo here, I mean, it feels kind of defensive, right? Like it's kind of tough to attack into him.
I mean, the same is true for Cheshire as well, pretty much, right? He also has a pocket, and
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a river in front of his base, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some bushes out here, and some of these little textures and trees and bushes and whatnot can really mess with like unit pathing, and it can get kind of awkward.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
can
like
definitely mess with positioning. That's a really big important part in battles.
yeah, it's probably the most important thing is unit positioning, and I feel like bridges can mess up pathing too when your units like try to use the bridge too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's really annoying,
It,
especially when there's like one tile of skunk gas and they all
yeah,
pass through
yeah.
it.
It's like just walk through the water, guys. It's okay. See, look right here. Like everybody tries to use the bridge, which is cute and it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense, but like a lot of times in combat, it really doesn't. It's not good. So, Frodo coming down here, and this is a lot of really good precast so far. Tons of damage going onto those squirrels, and this is a very frustrating position to be in for Cheshire. You're kind of forcing him to engage, and here he goes. Can bully down
I
the
mean,
one skunk.
yeah, that was a nice camo move out, but all the squirrels spaffed through the gas and they just killed them completely.
Man, I think this is going to be a quick match number 1. Frodo looking great here. I love these kind of skunk pushes. I felt like this for a long time, but like the double skunk opener, the 4 skunks, is so strong. I think you can say that about 4 cams too.
Hmm.
But like those 2 tier 2s, I mean, you just get like 2 pairs of them, I guess, and super strong. Cheshire on the offensive though, the skunks got a little bit too low. Frodo trying to move back with them. Chesire needs to get a little bit of damage in. He lost a couple of farms on that last attack. Meanwhile, Frodo's got a second base? EvilMurlock, who is this guy? So far playing very well. This is going to be tough for Cheshire to recover from. Maybe this is where you sell everything, you just build Mass Gross. Is it like a cheese move like that, maybe?
Well, you could actually do a nice flank from the side into the natural, but
Yeah?
I don't know if Cheshire has the micro for that.
Yeah, you could honestly do that pretty sneaky, right? Like if you had all crows, just have them come in and
Yeah, yeah. Or he could
fly
just
up.
rally his chameleons and snipe some farms. That would also put him back into the game a little bit.
All right, gonna try a little bit of a micro trick here with the cams. Oh, if he can get that Badger Warren, that would be so huge.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a free
Really
180
unfortunate timing
food.
for Frodo.
Frodo's moving out right now too, and is running home. If you look at the mini map, here comes Frodo's units. Oh, he's just gonna try to target it down, and he's gonna get it. Oh my God, Chesire, back into this
So
game.
greedy, but it paid off.
He should have babied those chameleons trying to get him home. He's gonna lose the chameleons, but still worth it. But that's tough. He really needed to keep those chameleons alive.
Yeah, yeah. Frodo does have a huge army advantage right now, so he kind of does need to push
Yeah.
if he wants to stay in the game.
Yeah, I feel like losing those cams. I think Frodo might just win here on the back end. Let's see. Got a couple crows in the air, but not going to be enough. I think they're just going to get gunned down.
Yeah, and with those pigs dying, that's a loss of defensive advantage, so
Yeah.
an attack is going to be even easier right now.
Well, the good news is that Chesire doesn't really care about this mill anymore. He does care about the warrens around it, though, so you can't just, like, completely give everything up. Let's see. Frodo seems to be a good enough player to not try to do anything like target them. Now, he doesn't know about the other base, though. No, yeah, he does. Okay. Yeah, pretty decisive victory there for Frodo. Still has all the skunks alive. Still has enough squirrels to, like, crows aren't going to cheese this one out or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nicely played here by Frodo. I think this is going to be it. I don't think Chesire is going to ever be able to rally enough units to defend against this. So, good game number 1, though. I'm excited for this series, Murlock.
Yeah, Frodo had a really nice push and then leveraged his advantage into an economic power. And yeah, really good moves from both players, actually.
All right. Game number 1 going to Frodo here. Oh, I should be messaging QQ these results while we're at it. That was no, Winter Load versus Shavan. I typed up EvilMurlock. It's like EvilMurlock won against Shavan, baby, 3-1. All right. Cool. Let's hop into game number 2. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and the bottom right, we've got Frodo, and to the left, Chesire Saxophone. Frodo, both players really changing it up this time around.
Yeah, Frodo's going for that Squizzard and into Boar. Squizzard is really nice, and the Falcon Boar is a pretty good late composition, so no complaints here.
What do you think about the snake in the current meta?
I mean, it does have its place. I don't really use snakes, so I can't really say, but Legoman says they're good, so they probably are.
Well, Lego Man always says snakes are good, though.
He was complaining way more previous patch, though.
Yeah, that's fair. I miss the Vroomy snakes. Do you remember those? They could, like...
The fast snakes?
Yeah, the fast snake patch.
Oof.
That was,
I haven't played a lot with that, but yeah, that was really annoying. Tatanka always sniped all my picks when we were playing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think snakes are good right now. I feel like it's a very tier 2 meta at the moment. So snakes are in tier 3, so snakes are good at like targeting both those down. I actually like Raccoon with the Wolf comp as well, but I think that the Raccoon actually replaces the Falcon. What do you think? Like, I would rather do Wolf Cam Raccoon than Wolf Falcon Raccoon.
Yeah, I also think about Raccoon in that way. It's like a more tankier, reliable Falcon.
Yeah, exactly. And they do, like, they have bursts in a little bit of a different way, where Falcons are like machine gun fire, bop, 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 but Raccoon bursts is like, we just hit you, with our 50 cal, right? Like, they hit very, very hard. So the burst with Raccoon is like, oh, you get 4 or 5 of them, they start one-shotting everything. Even less than that, really. But I feel like Raccoon. I played quite a bit of Raccoon in my tournament matches, and I feel like they're weak against Cam. Now in this case, Frodo doesn't have the Chameleon. Honestly, I kind of like Chesire's deck against Frodo's for the most part. Like you have the snake, the pigeons, but that doesn't. That's not always a good. That's like it's insurance against snakes, but it's American insurance, right? Like it's not all encompassing here. This isn't European health coverage. This is American health coverage. You can still die to snakes with pigeons. But it's something at least.
Yeah, it can.
Oh no, no! The commander died when he just kind of had like a rally command. Okay, wasn't that bad. Only lost a few units there.
Like not. Frodo, I mean, Chesire was stuck in the choke point a bit, so in that rally back then, yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a challenging map for Frodo, to be honest. Like they have to take that forward base and plant their foot there. But what sucks is that's going to be... Oh, look at this ninja from Chesire, by the way.
That's never going to get out it.
It's tough when your second base is the line of fire, right? Because I imagine like the no man's land is probably the center mill right here, in between the two, a little bit farther forward. But that's kind of... We talk about defender's advantage a lot, but... Really, the offender's advantage is like we're trading armies, but I kill a pig, but I kill a Warren, right? And that little bit of extra damage can win you the game. And especially because mills start with such low HP, that's another concern. But maybe none of that matters because Frodo is just going for the big bad boar, a couple snakes to cover it, and is going to say go.
Not sure about the snakes personally. He hasn't seen a lot of high HP units from his enemy, so I would rather see falcons, really.
Yeah, I agree. I think one thing that's really tough is boar plus a ton in tier 1. I think is very effective, especially against an enemy who has got no skunks. Because it's like, well, you need tier 1 to fight my tier 1, but you can't build tier 1 because the boar. So you kind of get them in like a stranglehold like that, right? I agree. I don't think snakes are the best call here. But could work anyways. Maybe Frodo's got good... snakes are a very microable unit, so... It could be like... Our armies are going to trade, I'm going to be left over with a couple snakes, and I'm going to micro the hell out of them and get a ton of value.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't really like these MGs from Chesire, since Boar just deals so well with defenses, right? He has crit damage in his defenses.
He knows the boar is coming too, by the way. The only saving grace from these MGs is that Frodo doesn't have any high ground vision, no flying units. So that is nice, but it's going to be real easy to run your commander up there and then get the flamethrower on him. But here we go. Here's a big move out. 3 farms on Chesire's Ninja. Trying to find the right angle. Good job from Frodo. I love seeing people kind of do that little bit extra due diligence. And here comes a boar just slamming those MGs down. And looks like a pretty decent trade. Ooh, the Falcons are going to stay alive, though. Great job from Chesire. Focusing down all those snakes. Wow, look at this. Great defense from Chesire here.
Well, losing 4 defensive warrants, so that was a bit of a loss to the board, but he still had an eco, so in the end, this is probably really good for Chesire.
Yeah, the fact that all the Falcons stayed alive is huge. Frodo trying to target those down now, but just with a little bit of pigeon healing, it can make a big difference. Chesire gonna have to run away, but if I'm Chesire, I'm pretty happy with that. He did take a punch. He didn't get out of that, unscathed, but thwarting an enemy boar push, which is a very all-in move, and then you've got your extra base up and running. Now Frodo's gonna struggle to get their own base going. It's past the 5-minute mark, so economies are in the drains. Love this idea of just grabbing that campfire, though. That's really good.
Yeah. Frodo selling off the bar.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're not going to be able to really finance another one. Now that this Raccoon Falcon thing is starting to get going, though, this is a little bit tough here for Frodo. Let's see. I agree with you, though. I don't think these snakes were really needed too much this game. I think the attack probably would have been better if it was just, tier 1 worth of value.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think this is going to tie up our series here, 1-1. There it is, GG from Frodo.
Well done from Chesire.
Okay.
I really like Frodo's pre-split on his attack though.
Yeah.
Just moving your units around the mill so they spread into a line and then you get a nice concave. We would really like to see more of that. That's just a really smart play.
I agree. I can't stress enough how important unit positioning is in Tooth and Tail, and like trying to get the concave versus convex. Trying to get the surface area. And one thing too, it's easy to forget is like a lot of units, like the squirrels, for example, or really most units, like don't attack until they find a tile. So if your units are kind of shuffling around, it's not like StarCraft or something where you can kind of move your Marines and shoot, like kind of stutter step. They really have to find their own tile to attack. So being in the right spot is absolutely huge. Or there's so many games where I lose it and I'm just like, how did I lose that game? It makes no sense. And then I go look and it's like, oh, my unit positioning was terrible. That's what it was. But anyways, ready to get into game number 3?
I am.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Down in the south, Frodo, and in the north, Chesire, Saxophone. Got some toads this time around, and Chesire with the snakes. Interesting.
No squirrels for Frodo, but lizards are pretty good dispatched, so it's not really bad objectively.
Yeah, I don't mind not having squirrel, but I do like the 2 tier 1 in that case, right? Like, I wouldn't run just lizard, but like lizard toad, lizard mole, something like that seems to make sense. And this is a big map, so we might have a macro game on our hands here, Murlock.
Well, maybe. Chesire does have the low grind base, which is super easily attackable, so maybe he'll choose to go quick tier 3, but he only has the owl, which really isn't good on one base, I think, so he's in a little bit of a bad spot, I would say.
Yeah, Frodo's definitely got the lion's share of the gristmills down here, but I think Chesire could make these top 3 bases work. It is a little goofy, but if he kind of positions his army, kind of where Hopper just burrowed home, it could work to cover the bases. So we do see a fast expansion here from both players. Frodo's saving up for their... Oh, no, Frodo... deciding to take this one instead. Okay. And yeah, I would be surprised if we saw, 16 farm, gentleman handshake kind of situation. Let's see what the players decide to do, though. That could be the bet. Now, I am happy as a lizard player. A little, if only, like, there's a backdoor entrance to the main. Not quite. But could still be a little annoying with these lizards.
Yeah, it's definitely possible to do something, but there aren't really any obvious opportunities to get value.
There's a little, if you look in the northeast, like near the cabin, there is like that little sneaky stream you could try to do some stuff with. But other than that, yeah, nothing super abusable. All right, a few farms out from both sides. These are dead squirrels.
Oh, Frodo backs off it.
Oh, man. Yeah, that could have been a couple of easy squirrel kills, but always have to keep in mind that we have the omnipotent caster view, right? Frodo didn't know if that was maybe more squirrels on the way or something, just decided not to hop onto that.
Maybe he thought there were chameleons or something, but he didn't really see a tier 2, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah. Alright, decent. Decent scouts from both players. Double snakes out of Chesire here. What are up with these people getting 4 snakes, Murlock?
No idea.
Like, I would think, like, if you're gonna double tier 2 right now, I would imagine snake or skunks would be the better choice. But hey, like, especially snakes are not that great against the lizards either. Let's see, lizards coming in. Snakes are surprisingly tanky though. They do have quite a bit of HP, so kind of a bad attack here from Frodo. The toads finally show up, but kind of made the common mistake that it's easy to make with lizards is like, your lizards run ahead of all the other units and like die before you basically split your own army, That kind of happened there a little bit to Frodo, and this is scary.
Was also huge.
Yeah. Okay, these toads might connect. Oh, a little bit. Snakes will be good against this chameleon. Being able to poison it kind of negates its ability to sneak back into the shadows.
Now forced to retreat against lizards, which is always a bad situation.
Yeah, one snake makes it out of there. Yeah, I don't know how Frodo kind of turned that one around. If you look at the army crafts, it's kind of crazy. A little bit of an
Snakes just
overextension there.
suck, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, snakes are not... This is not the situation you want snakes. Snakes are not good against Mass Tier 1. Snakes are definitely more of a mid to late game unit designed to help, you know, target down a badger or something like that.
Both players going into a tier 3 though.
Yep, owl and wolf on the way.
I definitely favor the wolf player in such a scenario.
Yeah, you really want a few owls before things can start kicking off. But I do generally think Frodo's got the better comp here. Like Wolfcam Falcon with some pigeons. You know, even if we get into like a proper late game, I think once you get a certain amount of chameleons with the pigeon backup, you can kind of tank through the mice from the owl. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's see. Maybe we will have a proper macro game on our hands. This one might slow down for a minute as Frodo's trying to get into tier 3, or third base, and yeah, this is kind of an awkward map for Chesire to get a third on, huh? Now that we're looking at it a little bit further into this game. Would you try to take the low ground one? I don't know. Or maybe you could use the balloons to really kind of bully your way into this last gristmill on the high ground.
Yeah, probably the high ground one. The low ground is a bit too far, and with those lizards, he can just exploit me too easily, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that Frodo taking this base here really applies a lot of pressure. Because he had the option of taking kind of like safer, further away third bases, but he took the more aggressive one. So for Chesire, you know, if they take their third base here, it's just very, very awkward. So Chesire is just hunkering down on 2 bases and trying to get up to 3 owls.
Frodo is just ecoing up and using his wolf just to buff his eco. So he will scale way better right now.
Yeah, and does Frodo know about the owls? They do not. So right when I see the owls, I think I'm selling off like all the lizards and toads and just building a ton of cams. That'd probably be the move. Let's see though. Main bases are officially fallowed out. And this is where it's kind of looking bad for Chesire. They really have to establish their third. Yeah, they're gonna... Oh, they wanted to grab it, but the owl got paid for. Dang, 4 owls on the way.
You can definitely start getting some value with 2 owls. Start sending mice waves.
Yeah.
It will get rid of those toads and a few lizards. And I will just start cutting into Frodo's margins.
Yep. Chesire, do they know? They know about the third base. Yeah, I mean, Frodo's economy is just way ahead right now, especially with that wolf buff. I mean, look at the income graph. It is monumental at the moment.
Yeah, quadrupling Chesire's economy right now.
So yeah, Chesire does need to get a third base. They don't really have an option. This has become a 3 to 4 base game. So let's see.
Going into 8 snakes. That's definitely a misplay.
Yeah, I don't... Not sure I understand the snakes here. I feel like falcons are good against snakes. Like, snakes are good against chameleons. They're good against, like, generally the tier 3s. Pretty decent against, like, raccoons, maybe.
Ooh, nice sell.
Yep.
Ooh, and the mice got all baited out. But I don't think Frodo wants to attack. I mean, he does have way more eco. And he lost nothing there.
Yeah, Frodo's got no reason to attack. Now that they've seen the mice, probably sell the lizards. Let's see. Yeah, if I'm Frodo, I'm just hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let's let this game... They're on 4 base, full saturation. Finally a third base coming out from Chesire. These lizards are probably going to insta-snipe it. Let's see. I think where Chesire went wrong this game was... I think they had to take this kind of sus third base a lot earlier, right? Like, right when Frodo was establishing this kind of more forward third base, I think Chesire had to do the same thing. Big attack coming out here, but... Well, let's see. I mean, army value, Chesire is pretty equal, and these mice get a lot done, kill a lot of pigs here. 4
Yeah, that
farms of
wasn't
15
bad.
though.
But no mice now, so...
Yeah. Mice are slowly respawning, but don't have that massive horde. The balloon helping to get a decent amount of work done. But this army is just a haymaker here from Frodo. All those falcons left in the air. Chesire does a good job of keeping the owls alive, generally speaking.
Yeah, but he has no anti-air anymore, and those falcons really hurt.
Yeah, Falcon's moving in to clean up the base. Chesire trying for a base race. It's a little bit awkward with owls because during a base race you want to target things down and you can't really control the mice.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean it's something.
Frodo is a lot of bases though, so...
Oh, Frodo's got to turn around and kill that main mill. Yeah, yeah, not gonna quite make it in time. Yeah, these mice just kind of hitting whatever they want. Really makes it tough to base race, but nicely done here by Frodo. GG. That'll be second point on the board. 2-1 now.
Yeah, well played. Can we take just a 5-minute break? I gotta move rooms.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah. Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I will probably keep it going though, because we're in the middle of the series.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess I can just connect whenever or...
Yeah, just let me know when you're back. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, I will hop into the next match here while Murlock is moving around and getting to game number 4. Okay. In the top left, Frodo, and in the bottom right, Chesire Saxophone with the moles this time around, and Raccoon Cam Falcon from Frodo. I do like that comp. Raccoons are a fun unit to play. I still feel like Cam Falcon's probably the best thing to be doing right now, but I think the Raccoons are certainly reasonable. Chesire is a fun comp as well. I think that the moles are still good units, but they're not quite as good as just like in the comp. It's more like, yeah, you gotta try to make plays. This is a little bit silly. I think it's too far away. Maybe you kill a Warren if you get lucky and Frodo builds his Warrens on kind of the southwestern side of their base. But we'll see. Chesire, meanwhile, committing to the mole rush. Unfortunately, moles don't do very much damage. I think they literally do 1 point of damage unless they're critting structures nowadays. Which I think was a good change. I mean, moles are always kind of the unit that's in flux, you know? It's probably been adapted to change more than any other unit in Tooth and Tail's history. But yeah, these 3 moles are not going to even be able to kill that pig. So, unfortunate for Chesire. If it was the previous patch, I think that would have been fine. But the fact that they don't do bonus damage to pigs, because they're technically not structures, and the base damage of the mole is just kind of low right now, wasn't able to get it done, so... Honestly, like, kind of tragic for Chesire. They lost a ton of money there and got nothing done in return. So, yeah, 60 food, 75 food down. And in the early game, that is, like, a ton of food. So, big advantage for Frodo right now. Lizard only, though, in Frodo's comp, which moles are actually not bad against lizards. They do tank a lot of damage. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with this. I wouldn't move out just yet. But maybe, I don't hate the idea of like getting 12 lizards completely together and pushing out. Chesire caught a little bit out of position here with the squirrels, though. Was not expecting an attack from that angle, which is a little bit surprising. That is the most direct angle of attack, so kind of adding insult to injury here is Frodo. Getting those 2 farms, I feel like Chesire is just way too far behind now. I disagree with expanding from Frodo, and the reason is, like, in any RTS game, like, if you give your opponent breathing room, they can come back in. But right now, Chesire is really hurting. And they're floating a lot of food, so I'm curious what they're thinking. Yeah, they probably just feel sad, man. Like, they're expecting a big attack here. Let's see, I think EvilMurlock... Oh, no. Okay, yeah, they'll message me. Sorry about the Discord sounds. I should probably mute those. Here we go again. Frodo coming in from behind. This is going to be a very, very quick match here. GG. Well, not quite. Chesire with the Badger, you know, I don't hate it. Like, you gotta try something. And the fact that Frodo is ecoing up, rather than just completely railing tier 1. And look at this, Chesire pushing back a little bit. I wouldn't get too cocky. Like, this actually is not bad for Chess. No. Can't lose these squirrels, though. There's no way you can lose these squirrels. You just need to go home. I think Chesire should be very happy with that engagement. And the fact that they were able to get something out of nothing there. Chesire just need, like, I get it, like, you want to feign a little bit of aggression. You don't want Frodo to be able to understand that a Badger's on the way. Oh my gosh, if Chesire pulls this off, the question is, will the Badger be enough? No Falcons. If Frodo, like, generally just has no idea about the Badger, like, the pigeons don't make a whole lot of sense right now. It's generally not worth it to just build pigeons to kind of try to heal your tier 1. Okay, Frodo will... did they scout? Yeah, they should have. Oh my gosh, they did not. They had to have been like a tile away. So this is smart by Chesire, but like the feints, you know, kind of moving out a little bit. Yeah, and the fact that Frodo has been, you know, ecoing up and building these pigeons that he doesn't really need yet. Like, pigeons can heal your tier 2. You know, a couple of skunks with some pigeons makes sense, or even raccoons. But, you know, pigeon lizard just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And here's the Badger. Chesire, no support for the Badger. No pigeons. No nothing else. Oh my gosh. Chesire, now, don't underestimate lizards. Oh, see, this is where moles are great too. Wait for a couple moles, yep. But if this Badger can get the rev up, and these lizards don't all immediately kill the Badger. Oh my gosh, does Chesire win this game? With a Badger and a Dream? Are you kidding me? See, this is... I think Frodo may... Well, you still might not... You gotta have some pitch. Like, there's no healing at all. The rev up, though, will kill this. 20 HP left on this Badger. Kill the tier 3 Warren, probably. Oh, well, yeah, I don't know if I'd even bother. Yeah, you can't afford it. 18 HP. No, okay, the raccoon should clean it up. Okay. Badger goes down. But this is a great example of, you know, Frodo, when they had that big lead, instead of building the second base and trying to get into a woof and stuff, they should have literally just kept building nothing but lizards. And especially with Chesire investing in the Badger, they would have easily overran them. Now, Frodo's not out of this yet. And I get why they did what they did. You know, the famous Artosis went ahead, get more ahead. But sometimes it doesn't always apply in Tooth and Tail. These moles will help doof down this mill very quickly, but Chesire unaware of that extra mill in the back. Dude, no way Chesire wins this game. What a great comeback from Chesire here. These raccoons, 2 raccoons will one-shot a squirrel. So, oh my gosh, Chesire not able to seal the deal. Now, raccoons are awesome in these scrappy situations. If I'm Frodo, I'd probably sell off my other Warrens. Yeah, sell off the pigeon. Keep the raccoons out of your territory so they make money. Raccoons gain money outside of your territory. Try to eco up. I think Frodo might be bringing this back. What a crazy game. Let's see. Frodo scouting now, seeing what's going on. And gonna continue to eco up. Nice. I think these 2 raccoons can micro down these 6 squirrels pretty easy. Yeah, just gotta keep ideally shooting the same target, moving back, rinse and repeat. What do you do if you're Chesire to get back into this? I mean, I think it's just... You gotta macro up. I think this becomes who's less afraid to build more farms. So, oh, what happened to, oh, miss rally by Chesire there. Actually, you know what? Let me just... I could actually just give you a call, Murlock, and then I could share my screen. Oh, that's so loud. I gotta turn that down. Hey!
Okay.
Yeah, this game has been insane. So...
Yeah, I saw the badger part.
Yeah. So Frodo did those really good attacks with the lizard, but then tried to macro up. Chesire almost won the game with the badgers. And then now the raccoons have just been keeping Frodo alive as he's ecoing back up. So really, really cool game so far. If you're Chesire, what are you doing to try to get back into this?
Well, clearly you can't attack into the raccoon, so I would just have to sell off, right? And I see a badger building, another badger, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's the answer, right? Yeah, I mean, I think that Frodo did a little bit better, trying to reestablish an economy here. And that might very well just lead them to victory. But you cannot mess with 4 raccoons with some pigeons with just a handful of squirrels. Like, this is crazy. And, like, I get what Chesire is trying to do, Like, trying to feint a little bit. Like, oh, you're under attack, but... No, not a big enough feint here.
Yeah, he's bleeding a little bit right now.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of dead squirrels. And, Frodo might... This could have had the opposite effect, where Frodo's calling the bluff. It is like, you don't have anything. Are you trying to get another badger again? You can fool me once, shame on me kind of situation. And I think this is it. Well, the badger is cooking, but honestly, one badger by itself, I think these 4 raccoons would take it out no problem. Even a chameleon here, Murlock.
Yeah, it's over.
If
only Chester had even a single warren of pigeons that first push.
Yeah.
The badger been healed up and
I think Chesire did a great job, like, clawing their way back into the game. Because you have to remember that, this was off the back of this. There was this failed mole rush where Chesire lost a ton very, very early on. So, good job almost pulling it back. But that's going to be a 3-1 victory for Frodo here.
Congrats.